And we're live. Hello. It's Sunday afternoon. It's just gone. No, it is still 2 o'clock. Hey, we're doing well. Good afternoon. Hello, everybody. How are we all? Episode, did we say 16?
16, yeah.
Episode 16. Wowza. You're right, kiddo.
Absolutely fabulous.
Hello, chat. Hello, everybody. How are we all? Rachel, Bill, Gav, Manic, Horsham. Horsham was in there early, wasn't he? Bless him.
Oh, was he?
Monk.
Nice to know he's level-headed, though.
Oh, Bronco's in as well. Can chill now.
Hi, Bronco.
How you doing, Bill? I thought you was doing the folk festival.
He's just put it on this next week.
Can chill out now. It's been a bit of a manic morning for me. What with this heat and my hay fever's really, really bad at the moment. So obviously I've been pumping my son with hay fever tablets, and I'm just not sleeping at all. And I kind of laid in this morning, but I still had to get me up and closes to do. So I've literally rushed me. Well, I haven't rushed me up and closes. I've managed to get me up and closes done, and it's like, where did the time go? And we're here now, live. So yeah.
Tell me about it. I was running around picking wife's new carriage up today. So.
Oh, what new carriage is it?
It's only a little Kia Rio, but it's black and it's got tinted windows and it's got all the toys inside, so she's happy.
Good evening, Grumpy.
Evening, boy. Morning, Bronco. I forgot Bronco's based in the States, isn't he?
You what, sorry?
Bronco. He's one of our watchers from over the pond.
It is, yes. Tiberius, hello.
Good afternoon, Tiberius. Oh, and young Gav as well. I missed him there, he snuck in.
Manic's saying with hay fever and all.
Oh, bless him. Oh, that's not good, Manic.
Yeah, it is. Honestly, I suffer with hay fever anyway, in general, but this year has been really, really bad.
Oh, I owe Bronco a large apology. He's not from the US of A, he's from Canada. I do apologise, sir.
On about Canada, I've got really into the Outback Bush lads. They're based in Canada. Well, it's not Canada, it's Alaska, but that's an awesome show. There are a bunch of there's 9 of them, and they just basically want to live in the wilderness, and it's their trials and tribulations type of,
Alaskan rednecks.
Yeah. Basically, honestly, it's absolutely brilliant. You get really into it. So, like, I'm on season 2 now, and you do actually feel bad luck. Oh, they get terrible bad luck. But yeah, really enjoying that.
Oh, Paul's in. Evening, Paul.
Evening, Paul. Yeah, it is evening for Paul.
Yeah. Well, it's damn near the middle of the night for Paul.
Not kidding. Oh gosh. So tonight's going to be, well, this afternoon, should I say, for us, nice and chilled, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
We're going to have a nice and chilled, relaxed. So, come on, man, you might as well tell us what you're vaping on.
Well, not a lot this afternoon, to be honest. Got the Soul Keeper with the drop on, and in that, the Maui Mango.
Maui Mango.
And had an interesting chat. I nipped down the local B&M yesterday. And I actually bumped into a guy that's tried everything within the range of Tropic King. And when you get a complete stranger, we got chatting for sort of 5 minutes, and he turned around and he just went, "Oh, Maui Mango." He says, "I've tried all of them. The whole range is fantastic, apart from the grapefruit." And I was like, "Why? That's normally pretty flavoursome, Apparently it's a proper coil killer. To take that acidic edge off the grapefruit, they seem to have popped in just a little bit more sweetener. But,
just to knock the sourness off.
Yeah, but at the cost of your coil. So worth a note if you were thinking about buying the grapefruit from the Tropic King range. And then we've got the Smoke Passageau, still on the rebuildable deck.
Mm.
I had to re-wick it this morning because I was getting a little bit of burnt out of it. But to be honest, absolutely loving it still.
Saying that, you've had that in, what, a fortnight?
Near enough 3 weeks now, yeah.
Yeah. And is that the same cotton?
No. I've changed the cotton out twice, but the coil's the same. So it's lasted. I wasn't sure whether it would, with it only being 28 gauge.
Right.
But it seems to be lasting fine. And in that, for a little change, I have the Salt Spearmint, which is absolutely gorgeous. I know you don't like mint, but it's a really nice, mellow spearmint. It's not harsh. Literally sort of Wrigley's flavour. Really nice. Stop it. Okay, Marty Pants, what are you puffing on then?
What am I puffing on? Well, to be honest with you, besides me 2 things that I've reviewed, done the up and closes on, I'm on the Kylie M still with the Hex. I thought I'd put it on the Hex. Someone pass me a bucket here, not kidding. It's mentioned spearmint.
It was Horsham's. He's got a beautiful waistcoat made out of elephant foreskin. Give it a rub and it's an overcoat.
Thank you very much, hero. We tried a fish. And in that, I got given... It's not often I get given stuff, but I got given stuff by a driver. This is called Vintage Mixed Berry Lemonade. Yes, in a 200ml bottle, and he didn't like it, and I absolutely love it. It's gorgeous. It's basically lemonade. You've got that main lemonade flavour, and then you've got a hint, and it is a hint of berries. So you've got your raspberry, you've got your strawberry, you've probably got a bit of a blueberry in there as well, but it's only very slightly. And then underneath that, you've got like a cooling agent. I wouldn't say it's cool hard or anything like that. It's just a little dampening down the heat, if you want. Just that cooling bit. Absolutely good. That nice. I've ended up buying 2 bottles. Yeah, I've got that in the Kylan. What else have I got on? These are 2 that I've been coming up for review next week. This is the Preco 2, the Director-Lung disposable 2nd edition. Got that one, and that's on the Urus. I'm going to have to review this Urus because I keep on... So I've got that one, and I've also got the Turan Solo from, Thunderhead Creations on top of the Aspian. Aspian? Aspian.
No, that one I'm looking forward to your review on.
I'm not going to say out. I'm going to keep my gob shut until next week. But
tease.
Works well.
Can't fault that.
In that and in that one, I basically got my homebrew, lemon. That's it, me boring lemon. That's all I'm vaping on. Oh, I tell a lie. I have got me G100. Hope you all enjoyed the review of that one from Tree of Life mods. And on top of that, I have got the UD Hunter, which I'm going to do a review of because I've got... It's old. It's 2015. It's old. You can still buy it, and this is old new. If you get my meaning. So I'm thinking. Out of curiosity, I'll ask everyone in chat as well while we're at it. I'm thinking about doing old new products. I'm on about sort of like 2015-ish, around that end RDAs and things like that. And seeing if you can still obviously get hold of them. As long as you can get hold of them, I'm happy. It's when you start struggling and not being able to get hold of them anymore that I can't see a point in reviewing. But I'm thinking about doing just a little small section. It might be only once a month, something like that. Depends on obviously my cash flow more than anything else. But doing old stock reviews. What do you think?
I think it's a cracking idea. I mean, when you look at the increasing price of the top end RDAs and to be honest, when they first released the stock coil stuff, there's some bargains out there on the older kit.
I mean, I've got this one, this UD Hunter, and it's absolute. I've got 21 gauge Canthal in this one. It's coming out at 0.11 ohm exactly, and it's kicking clouds like nobody's business.
I mean, I use some of my older stuff, my Goons and all the rest of it. I think it's a Goon 1.5 I've got, and that's brilliant. The Armageddon V2, that's my favourite RDA.
Because I was looking back on my channel, and there's loads of sort of like RDAs and especially RDAs and RTAs that I never got a chance to review because obviously I never got them in, and at the time I was into obviously something else, so obviously I was spending my money on something that I wanted to get. So, and it was sort of like, especially them RDAs that sort of like were really expensive that I couldn't afford at the time, that are now sort of like Billy Bargain prices. Because I mean, I think the Hunter now, I think that's less than £20.
Well, I mean, if you look at the economic stuff at the minute, it's looking bad. Belts are going to get tighter. So no, I think it's a fantastic idea. I mean, Grumpy's just thrown one up, the District 5 Cosmonaut, which is it's a gorgeous RDA. Bill's just mentioned in chat, if you can still buy it, it's a valid review, which is a great point. Bill's just said again, he still uses the Armageddon and the Rabies.
So it is still worth me actually, as long as you can get hold of them. That's the me so like criteria. As long as you can get hold, I'm not on about getting it from Fast Tech or somewhere like that. I'm on about you can get mainstream. It mainstream. As long as you can still get hold of it mainstream, I think it's worth a review. To be honest with you.
Well, yeah, I mean, we got that used to 2016. Well, starting in 2016, but 2017, there was so much stuff coming out in rapid fire. I do think some of the older stuff got missed out.
Well, I know my channel missed out on a lot. I really do, especially the more expensive gear. That you saw like the RDAs that were sort of like 70 and 80 quid going upwards are probably now only about £30 ish, around that price range. So I thought it might be worth doing something a little bit different for the channel.
Well, I mean, at that £30 price point, then it is worth a review because that's still quite a chunk out of people's pockets.
Can you remember? Every expo, they're there at every expo. Guys in chat, if you go to expo, there's a company that sells old stock. And they're normally out, when you go into expo, they're normally quite near the front of the entrance. And they've been going there for quite some time. It's, I know it's called e-cigarette something. They sell new stuff, but they have a big line of what I would class as retro vaping, retro gear. Yeah, I was going to see if I could get hold of them.
E-cigarette outlet. If I put e-cigarette expert, I'm just going to get expo links.
Yeah, that's all you're going to get. I was trying to think what they were called, but yeah.
Oh. E-cigarette directs.
No, it's not e-cigarette. Yeah, I know, e-cigarette direct.
Let me just check the Vape Expo to see who's already signed
Can
up.
anyone in chat remember?
Here we are, the return.
Because I thought about if I got in touch with them, because obviously they sell, old stock.
Nice. Here we are, exhibitors list. In fact, it might be just worth having a quick run through here. I mean, a lot of them. Vaping, they've got a stand on. Lots and lots of juice. Flawless Vape Distro. Dr. Vapes. That Dr. Vapes isn't that bad a juice actually.
No.
It's more of a budget line, but it's nice. Nasty, usual.
Bill says he knows who we mean, but they still charge.
Yorkshire Vapor. They've got a stand on in October. Green Monkey drinks. Would you really buy a can of Green Monkey?
There's been quite a few names that I mean, Donkey Piss.
Yeah.
Why would you want a juice line to be called Donkey? There was Alien Piss and all, wasn't there?
Yeah, I bought some of that.
But what? I just don't get why people.
Zeus Juice has got a stand on as well.
Good little Juice.
Aspire, EH Pro, Ultrona. That'll be worth a look. Ultrona's stand in May was superb.
Yeah, shame about the Pixie.
Well, yeah.
Because I got asked a question about the Pixie, about the donkey juice. Someone was asking if it was a 510 connection. Now, if it had been a 510 connection instead of a magnetic connection, you could have put something like a Nautilus in there.
Which would have made it fantastic.
It would have made it awesome mod, but no, unfortunately, it's just...
No, I'm not seeing anything with these cigarette in.
I'm sure there were... Bill can remember who I'm on about. They're there, honestly, they're there every expo. But they sell old stuff.
I'm just wondering if it's one of these that's under the Chinese name rather than...
No, it's an English. It's an English company.
English one?
Yeah, definitely English.
That's interesting then. E-cig shop?
No, don't ring a bell. But we'll be there in October, so...
Oh, we will. We will.
So I might actually, obviously, start looking. Because obviously it's coming out my own pocket, like, so I'll start looking for something little retro, like I got the Hunter, and see how it goes, see what the reaction are with the videos and that lot, and obviously if it works out that people are interested in looking at old gear, then for budget, people on a budget and that lot.
There's like I say, there's a lot of old stuff out there, like the Cosmonaut, etc., that are still worth a look. The Armageddon, the V2. If you can't get hold of the original, there are in the style of.
No, I've got to keep away from in styles.
Oh, I know you have for the review, but for the budget vapor, you know what I mean?
Yeah, unfortunately, what with YouTube being as it is, I didn't start going down that road.
No, definitely not. I mean,
because I don't want to be penalised, and then I wouldn't be able to do shows like this.
What? Sat here looking at an ugly dude.
That's it. He's a good one, he's built. Premier E-cigs.
Ah, superb.
Yes, Premier E-cigs. I'll have to write that down, Mark.
There we are. Home of the world's largest e-cig provider, apparently.
There, wrote it down. So I was thought about getting in touch with them and seeing if they was interested.
It's a good idea. I mean, let's have a look. Oh, pods. Everybody's selling pods.
I got some new pods. Do you want to have a quick look at some new pods? Got sent this. So I've got 2 pods. Can't wait. These is from Horizon Distro. They've sent me the Moti. I think it's Moti.
Why have I suddenly got football in my head?
This is Moti. 1.8 mil of juice. The resistance is a 1.2 or a 1.5. 6th generation honeycomb ceramic core. Batteries 500 mAh. Charging time 50 minutes. Capacity 600 puffs. There you go. Got that one to have a look at. And then I've got more. I've got Mojo pods. Disposables. I've got melon, cool melon, and lemon dessert. So till nil Nick, or is that 20 mil? It doesn't say really that much about them. So yeah, I got sent them. Lovely pods. Don't we? We just love pods. Pods
Well,
wonderful.
Just had a quick shifty on Premier E6 webpage, and they've got a Royal Hunter X for 30 notes. But they also do the sleeves. You know, you could get different coloured sleeves for it.
Yeah.
£12.50.
Blimey, they're not cheap then.
No.
I mean, Royal Hunter X, how old's that? 2 years old? That must be about 2 year old.
At least, I mean, it's a legit. Yeah. They've got the Anakin Urus as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's and that's all they seem to have, which is very bizarre. But I've noticed that in the local B&M, the RDAs are slowly phasing out. You know, the RTAs are there, but the pods and the all-in-one systems.
It's interesting, isn't it? How I've started noticing though more pens are coming back as well. I've noticed a few. You know, your biggest egos than bigger size than your egos. The thick ones.
I think Motty's a Pod Jai Hayes had a customer get 2 auto fire and go bang.
Lovely.
Mark's gonna die.
I'm gonna die. Hey, GI, we go boom boom.
No, I don't think that's what she meant, mate.
No, I don't think so. I love you long time, yeah. Whole of 10 minutes.
You bragging?
No, I'm on about with that. Suck that and boom.
Bless you. Well, should we do a...
And hello, Coil Proby?
Yep.
Or is it Proby?
No, it's Proby.
Proby.
As in probationer.
Ooh, probational. Sounds very... Hello. I'm your Coil Probation Officer.
How did that go down? Where on earth did that come from?
Hello.
The problem is you say it in such a nice tone of voice, and then all of a sudden you realise what you've just said. You're like, what?
Pro B, yep, it sounds sexual.
I know one thing, if I turned around to the missus and said I was going to probe a coil, she'd hit me. 19mm pens are going to come back and be the follow-on from Pogs.
I think so. I think we're going to go back. I think we are in a... I'm not one for predicting the future by any means of the imagination, but I have got a feeling we are going to literally do a full circle.
Well, we did it with Max, didn't we, last year? I mean, to be honest, I think if the Soul Keeper gets... I'm glad you weren't in the room for that, Rachel. It was ever so rude.
It wasn't rude.
I think if the Soul Keeper sells well, we might see more along that line.
I've got a feeling your pen styles, I think pods are going to start dropping. I really do.
I know the reviewers are giving resistance now, aren't they? But it is difficult to review something that I've watched before, but I'm new to commenting on shows in the UK. You feel free, Proby.
You are more than welcome to comment.
Honest, mate. The chat makes the show.
Yes, definitely.
Without you guys, we'd be sat here looking at each other going, ooh. What we're going to talk about.
It's Sunday afternoon. We just do this for a complete and utter chill out. This is our chill. It's sort of like meet and greet. It's basically like two lads down the pub having a natter.
Oh, So, speaking of which, we shall go on to some news.
You got some news?
There is some news. There's not a lot about, to be honest. EC Click let me down, bless them.
Why? I thought that one from EC Click, is it EC Click the one about India? Or is that...
That's what I've got now. That was off Planet of the Vapes. Now, this is interesting because we've spoken about this for a fair few weeks now. The worsening picture for vaping in India. The government have basically putting pressure on for an all-out ban. Not sure I want to know what you and Mark will be doing if we weren't here. Rachel, it would be clean.
It would be very clean.
Gentlemen we are. Honest.
Honestly.
Yeah, we don't do anything to curtains, do we? Proper gentlemen us. So anyway, back to India. So there's a lot of pressure from the Indian government on vaping to the point where the people who are pro-vaping are actually becoming definite minority, and that's why I was rather taken aback when one of the senior medical officers in India actually wrote to the government sort of pointing out the fact that if you remove vaping, you're increasing the chance of harm to long-term smokers. Now, on the back of this, the Indian government have done something rather interesting. So there was a white paper released by the Indian Council on Medical Research calling for the banning of vaping. And it states use of ENDS or e-cigarettes has documented adverse effects on humans, which include, wait for this, DNA damage, carcinogenic, cellular, molecular, and immunological toxicity, respiratory, cardiovascular, and neurological disorders. Right. Is anybody else hearing Gottlieb in that last sentence?
I thought the interesting bit was though, is it all anything to do with any research?
Has to be run through the government.
Yeah, it has to run through the government first.
Yeah. Now, there's plenty of folks who would possibly take the tinfoil position on this, and the only reason they want to know about it is so they can quash it. The official line is that while they're not banning research, their line is that they want to ensure that we are not telling departments not to do research. We're just saying just keep the health ministry informed so there's no confusion on the government's position. Our way or the highway, basically, if you read between the lines on that statement.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, it's going to end up so like if they don't agree with what's being put out on that white paper, are they going to not show it?
Well, that's what the hint is. Absolutely crazy. I mean, as Grim was saying in his recent one of his recent vlogs, the position is getting to the point of if you have cigarette and vape, they'll ban the vape, so you carry on with the cigarette. Now, this is crazy. Absolutely crazy.
It's just the thought that it has to go through the government first before it'll get released. I think that is a seriously worrying statement. Just that alone is just a worrying statement.
You ain't kidding. And how many more are going to take that view? I mean, that's what worries me. Because if it works, it'll happen.
Mm.
I mean, I can see the FDA trying to pull a similar stunt.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
Especially with the hysteria over, fake news, etc., that Trump likes to raise every time somebody pulls him up on something.
Mm.
So it's a scary time. And speaking of the FDA, they've actually now notified 4 companies to remove 44 flavoured e-liquids and hookah tobacco products from the market because they don't have the required marketing authorization. So the companies were Mighty Vapors, doing business as OVO Manufacturing, Liquid Labs USA, V8P Juice International, and some hookah tobacco, Hookah Imports Inc. for ROR tobacco products. Now, again, it's absolutely crazy. I mean,
if I heard right, though, wasn't Sageli issued with one as well?
Now that I haven't seen.
I'm sure I've heard that the FDA's written notice to Sageli as well.
Well, I mean, that is crazy if they have. But I mean
But let's face it, it was inevitable. It was going to happen.
Well, yeah.
I mean, they had the date. They had the date set, and if you're going to carry on
producing new products,
producing new products, I mean, it's inevitable going to catch up to you. But it's sort of like, who do you feel sorry for? It's sort of like, yeah, you don't want to see new companies or companies getting into trouble. But the thing is, though, that's where the law came in. What was it, 2016? Anything after that, they couldn't bring out new out. So.
Well, I'm just looking now. There's a list. The FDA kindly produced a list of letters. So they've sent one to letters to manufacturers regarding plans to address youth access and use. So that was back in September 2018. What we got else? Right. Oh boy. So we've got letters regarding products that may be marketed illegally. So the 7 Days, Access Vapor, American Vapor Group, Blue Dot, Cool Pods. Now there was one I spotted here, Joytech for the Terros.
Voga.
What else we got? Now this just doesn't sound right. Letter sent to Mum's Fantasy Factory for the G10 plug and the Delrin plug. Exactly. That's awesome. Twist vape. Most of these are for pods.
Oh, they're going. That's it, though, isn't it? They're going after the pods.
Oh, they're properly having a pop. Bless them.
Oh, yeah, you can tell. I mean, you look at all the ones that were listed. It's all to do with pods. Going to be interesting times. Very, very interesting times. I mean, I feel sorry for them in one respect, but they knew what was going to happen, surely.
Well, they made it fairly clear, didn't they? It's not like the bottle trick that they pulled. So, bless them. Bless them. Bill, no, they weren't sex aids. They were legitimate vaping products. Hi, Avoca. Right. So, and Bill's just chucked another one at me. So we've got a renowned epidemiologist debunks FDA claims of teen vaping epidemic. Thanks for this, Bill. I've not actually seen this one. So this was back in July. So the fear-mongering began in autumn of 2018 when Gottlieb issued a press release saying new steps to address the epidemic of e-cigarettes, which the mainstream media immediately picked up. I mean, the Fox News channel, etc. There was a really good video on YouTube that literally showed the syndicated news channels, and it took the same snap from the same time, and there must have been 40 or 50 screens with all these newscasters in the various states, all repeating the same thing about vaping, the vaping team epidemic. Sorry, new teeth. So, where were we?
Paul's saying in chat that they're wanting pod systems as a medical device.
Really?
Interesting.
Pods as a medical device? Well, they tried it here, didn't they?
Yeah, they did try. Well, they tried. Chris Doyle, hello.
There's nothing to say that we won't see that again.
Oh, believe me, even in this country, don't think that we're out of the clear and everything's fine and dandy, because it's not. Because there is still works in the background there, still wanting more regulation and more putting these on medical devices. There is.
Well, yeah. With the Brexit, etc. Oh, Pfizer's about to drop one.
Pardon?
Apparently Pfizer's about to drop one. That's interesting. If you look at Brexit, etc., we are entering a period of great uncertainty as to what will still be on the books and what won't. And they have already started talks over vaping, etc., haven't they, with UK VIA, and to a much lesser extent, from what I've read, the NNA.
Yeah, a lot less.
Which is worrying, because UK VIA, there's still a lot of question marks over who they're actually representing.
Well, they're not representing us, are they? They're representing the actual industry.
Yeah, but they don't appear to be looking after the customer.
Oh, God, no. I mean, let's face it. There are financial reasons behind their decision-making more than consumers.
And at the end of the day, the only reason there's a market is because Joe Bloggs is going out and buying. So if you start stabbing Joe Bloggs in the back, you might as well kiss your profit margin goodbye. Yeah. We are a volatile little group of vapors.
Yeah, we certainly are. Yes, definitely. Well,
some of
us are.
So, right. So we go back. Raymond Nyora, I believe it's Nyora, of New York University College of Global Public Health, knows a thing or two about epidemics, and in his eyes, the FDA is grossly misusing the term regarding this teenage epidemic. During the recent Regulator Watch interview, Stafford, the host of the programme, asked the interim chair of NYU's Department of Epidemiology, blimey, that's a big word for a Sunday, if teen vaping is indeed a national epidemic. So this is from Dr. Nyora. Well, it depends on how you define an epidemic, which is actually not, as far as I can tell, the FDA press release doesn't have the strict guidelines in terms of definitions, but it has been declared an epidemic by no less than the FDA and the Surgeon General of the United States. So by their account, it's an epidemic. So then the interviewer presses him and asks why two of one of the world's leading public health agencies, the FDA and CDC, are using terms like epidemic and clear and present danger, which are typically reserved for such potentially catastrophic outbreaks of deadly disease like yellow fever and Ebola. So he responds by noting the data used by the FDA to declare a vaping epidemic in 2018 was not publicly available at the time of the announcement, which itself is strange. And he goes, yes, and you bring up Ebola, which is raging in the Congo right now. That's an epidemic.
No, that is an epidemic.
Frankly, this is what was annoying and frustrating back in the fall when the FDA and CDC and the Surgeon General were saying that teen vaping was an epidemic. Researchers didn't have access to the information at this point. And, we're an obsessive compulsive bunch. We like to slice and dice and dissect and look at everything and kick the tyres for ourselves to convince yourselves that we understand what's going on. And I have to say, and no offence to the FDA or the CDC or the federal government, we don't take things on trust. That's not how science works. That is one of my favourite quotes.
Yeah, it is. It's one of my favourites as well.
Because I really wish more people would actually.
I mean, they're talking about an epidemic, and that word, the epidemic, it's just, what do you class it as? It's a self-prophesizing. If you say enough, it will be. What's that? There's a name for that, but it's the word itself has become, it's because people have said it that much, it is now a fact.
Well, yeah, because everybody's got it into their head. Well, so and so said it from the FDA. It must be right. Yeah.
I mean, that vaping is helping adults to convert from e-cigarettes. From cigarettes to e-cigarettes. Also, the smoking rates of teenagers has gone down to its lowest level ever. That means absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. And the epidemic part of it, I find so really annoying, is that if you actually look at the document, it's only in the past 30 days that they've tried it that's increased. Not that they're a continuous vapor, they are a regular vapor or anything like that. It's within the 30 days they've tried it. So they might have had one puff of a pen, and that's it. That's part of the stats. And you just absolutely, when you start having a look and breaking down these actual stats down, they mean nothing. They really do mean nothing.
But the thing that makes me laugh is, do you think they'd be using the same phrase if you took it for every politician, if they've ever misclaimed a penny or a cent, that all of a sudden they were guilty of fraud? Yeah.
Exactly.
They wouldn't have it, would they? It would be, it was a mistake or it was a one-off,
But what really winds me up, and I've seen it over the years, and it's not just recently, it's over the years. You get these scaremongering headlines coming out, and then when you actually get into the actual paper, the degrees of percentages is so minute. It's so like when it was on about formaldehyde in vape, when there was on about diacetyl, when there was on about heavy metals. Yes, they were all in. They weren't lying. There wasn't lying when they were saying that these things were in e-liquid or in the vapor. They were not lying about it. But the percentages of it in an actual vape that you're going to vape is so minute and very hard to actually register.
But what they don't say is the car pollution that you breathe in when you're walking down the street. There's more heavy metal in that than there is in your vape.
I mean, it's so like the reality of what they're actually telling you, this is X amount or whatever. When you actually break it down, how much vapor you would have to vape to be even in the slightly danger zone of health is ridiculous. You're talking millionths and millionths of degrees of lower than the standard health warning percentages. It's so ridiculous. It's so total. It's all like being like a magician, isn't it? They're so they're leading you, they're making you look this way,
so you can't see what.
So you're not really looking what's going off over it. It's misleading you all the time, and
you ain't kidding.
It's so like what's actually in the vape and all this. Like, yeah, it's great that we're learning all the information that we are doing, But it's all like, oh, there's heavy metals in it. If you heat your coils this way or heat your coils that way, if you have this material, that material, oh, you're going to end up with heavy metals and things like that. The percentage of it is so minute.
Mm.
And it's so like, come on, the realistic reality of it all is, yeah, these are a lot better for you than having a cigarette. These are a lot better for you than walking into town on a Saturday without car fumes. It's ridiculous. Eddie!
I mean, I would always say to anybody, take nothing at face value. You know, even the pro stuff, look into it, because there will always be something that has been just slightly tweaked. Yeah?
The whole lot of it's just all slightly tweaked, though, isn't it? I mean, you can get genuine, hand-hearted, honest, scientific white papers, and they are released on a regular basis. There is no hidden agenda or anything like that. And somebody will read it one way, and they'll pick up on a certain tiny little piece, and then blow that little piece all out of proportion.
But we know what sells papers. And they are under pressure, yeah. I mean, the likes of the British press have done it for years, you know. And the American press, they're the same.
I mean,
what sells is doom, gloom, and death and destruction, isn't it?
I mean, it's like I've said many a time, you'll get a big headline, e-cigarette explodes on the front page, and then you have to wait until page 7 on a little tiny article, and it tells you that, well, they were using the wrong charger or whatever, they had batteries that weren't wrapped in the pocket or something like that. But no, the big headline on page 1, and that's what it's all like.
Oh, too right. I mean, it's like our boy with his collapsed lung. You know, now I'm sure people work for me. My pewter's had enough. It really has. Come on. Play with me.
Bill, I'm absolutely loving my Kylie M. Brilliant.
The doom is a pain, though, Bill. I've got to agree with you.
You're gonna have to let me borrow that.
It's a great idea. Don't get me wrong. The juice flow system in it is superb. Yeah. But if you just put the tiniest amount, too much wick, into the wick holes, yeah, then forget it. You're going to get the dry hit from hell. I mean, when it works, don't get me wrong, I've got it to work once out of, 20 attempts. When it worked, the flavour was spectacular. You know, the richness, it was almost like drinking the e-juice. It was lovely. But, what a nightmare.
I mean, this took me a while to learn how to do it. It did take me a while how to wick this one. Also, I found another little secret as well. You don't have it too high on the wattage.
Right. Less is more.
Less is more. When I say less is more, it literally is less is more with the mesh. But you're going to have to lend me that Doom so I can play with it.
Oh, will do, mate. No problem. So, I talked about the gentleman who claimed that vaping Juuls had caused his lung to collapse. It's this Chance Amarita, who hails from Florida, and has a suspicious amount of, shall we say, model shots on his Facebook page. Not really after any attention then. So he's tall, slim, and I mentioned this for a particular reason.
He's small, tall and slim.
Yes.
Has he got dark hair?
Well,
he's a little bit masculine.
Do
you like him, sir? Do you like him?
Suits you, sir.
Do you like him?
Be careful.
Like a stream chain. Chuff, chuff, chuff.
He reported that his addiction to Juul was the reason for his lung collapse and the mysterious black dots on his lung after a chest x-ray. Right? He claims he vaped one pod every 2 days for about 18 months, which isn't a lot. So he told the media, I never smoked cigarettes, it's a Juul. I really don't believe in addiction or that it could affect me or that I could get addicted until I did. I then suffered the consequences of my decision. So, exactly. The question I'm asking, how does he know Jules did it? How does he know? Because there is a condition called spontaneous pneumothorax. Yeah? And guess who it's prevalent in? It's prevalent in teenage lads who happen to be slim and of slight build. They can be extremely fit. Yeah? But what it causes is build-up of fluid.
Okay.
Yeah? So, according to the BMJ, it occurs in approximately 100,000 young people between the ages of 18 to 28 and is a significant global health problem. The symptoms are exactly as young Chance reported, yeah? And let's be right, attacking Jewel at the minute is fashionable. It's also going to get him lots and lots of media exposure. Which brings me back to my male model type poses on his Facebook page. So I can't help but think there may be more to this story than initially appears. But has anybody from the US media actually looked into this?
I doubt that very, very much.
I mean, this is all from an article by Neil Humber again on EC Click, and he actually relates it to his son, yeah, who had the spontaneous hemothorax. Was a long distance runner, fit kid, never smoked, never vaped, and bump. It happened. But well worth a read, really is worth a read. And then go back and have a look at the claims about this collapsed lung from the Juul. And when you start looking at the two, it really does make a difference on how you perceive it. But, sorry, that was my little ranty bit, because much as I don't like Juul, I don't like people taking the mick either.
I think it's too easy to blame vaping for anything.
Well, this is it. I mean, I'm wondering now. I actually saw IPTV. There was an advert, like the ambulance chasing solicitors. Has you or your young one loved one become addicted to nicotine through vaping? If so, call blah blah blah.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
No.
I think these big words like addiction.
With nicotine.
Jesus Christ. Do you know, at some point, you just feel like giving up. It's sort of like, what's the point? What is the point of it all? It's sort of like, you might as well just go out and buy some cigarettes.
No.
You might as well. It's sort of like, what's the point? Honestly, because that's what they want at the end of the day. They just, no, please carry on smoking, because that puts money in his pockets.
In the States, yeah. Now, it's interesting in the UK, because of the amount of success they've had with these things and vaping, getting people off, they're now looking at a plan where the country is tobacco-free in 2030. So it's doing something, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely. It just proves it. But I still look at it this way. We, here in the UK, let's face it, we are so American.
They sneeze, they catch a cold and we sneeze, yeah.
Yeah, we are so... And I think that's one of the reasons why we've never been part of Europe. We are more Americanized. And I say this, right, I'll give you an example. When was the last time you watched a French television program? When was the last time you watched a German television program? On a regular basis.
I'm not saying that for the grounds it may incriminate.
Okay, yes, you can get them kind of ones. I'm on about adult, not adult, family friendly programs. Not many. You don't get much. I mean, you look at our television channels, most of them are either a American soap opera,
Yeah.
American TV program, American reality program, American this, American that, or English ones. You don't get many European ones.
And you know the thing that makes me laugh? A lot of the huge American blockbusters are all based on either French
Oh,
or
yes.
German originals.
Oh, blooming hell, you just go back to Disney. I mean, all Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, all them are European original stories.
Yeah. Well, La Femme Nikita, Leon. You know, there's loads of them.
So that's why I think we are too American.
Well, I'm not arguing. Bill's just put up or Dutch or Danish. Family friendly shows, please. Yeah, to be honest, though, I mean, we are seeing an increase in European stuff like the tunnel.
Yeah, we are. I must admit. I mean, we're not completely American, but we are very heavily American as a society. The way that we are, I think so.
Yeah. Well, I agree, and I think it's got a lot to do with the glitz and glamour. You know, it's selling you something that you'll probably never achieve. But it's hope, isn't it? The American dream's all about, you know, you can start off.
I love the American dream. We love the American dream.
Yeah. How many people actually attain it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The American dream is the American dream.
Well, this is it. Unless you're born into money.
Oh, money's all to do with it, isn't it? Money.
Yeah, see, that's what I like about the Brits with money. Because
well, we have got none.
Well, the old school money, you'll see them pottering around in, you know, forget you Chelsea lot, you know, the old school money, with, you know, the eccentric old dear walking around with the tweed twin set and pearl necklace, you know, wearing a pair of hunter greens and.
Oh, you on about him, are you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Went to Africa, we shot him off and I went boom! And I was really drunk, very drunk at the time.
This is it. Yanks don't have that, do they? I mean, they class something historic, you know, 200, 300 years. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And Bill watches German and Austrian stories made by Disney.
I think I've seen that version of Snow White. Oh, easy, Grumpy. I guess you'd pick up on that. For the people on the podcast, you're not missing anything. He's being filthy. He's a bad man.
Talking about shows.
Yes.
Well, I am hooked. The Boys. What a corking. I think I'm on episode 6 now. Just watched episode 6. Yeah, what a corking series. Absolutely thoroughly enjoyed it.
Not for the faint of heart, but.
Definitely not. No, I mean, the first episode was quite a shocker.
Oh yeah, within the first 15 minutes.
Yeah, but do you want to tell everybody the basics? We will not do any spoilers or anything like that, but give the general gist of The Boys.
Right, The Boys. What you're starting off with is a society where superheroes exist. Yeah, they are part of the mainstream. They are sponsored by Voight International. And the story that's sold to the public is that these individuals are being chosen by God and therefore given powers beyond the mortal ken. Which, you know, you pick up any Marvel comic and it's there.
Mm.
The interesting thing is, in the boys, the superheroes have human frailties, psychologically, egos, sexual deviancy, you name it, it's in there.
Sexual deviancy.
Indeed. Now, The Boys is based around, if you will, ordinary people that have had enough through various personal tragedies. There are some real twists and turns to this plot line as well, so you have to pay attention. Don't just focus on the blood and gore, because there is blood and gore. And to be honest, this is a lot tamer than the comics, so you can imagine how bad the comics were. They were awesome. I think I've got every episode, so I'm hoping Mark can have a look at those just to see how bad they are.
on about sexual deviancy bit, there's a scene in there. They're all like an A&E meeting, and they've all had a problem with one of the superheroes, and one of them, it just made me chuckle. He had a relationship with one of the female superheroes that was called Freeze. And obviously, you can imagine this A&E meeting, they're all sat round talking, and he's going on, it's sort of like, we had a relationship, me and Freeze, and it was all good up until we was having sexual intercourse, and as she climaxed, she froze, and something disappeared.
Minus 350 degrees Kelvin, it snapped right off. It was so funny.
But what I love about it, I mean, if it was reality, you can see how this would actually happen. All the publicity, all the how the media is being controlled with the figures and things like that. I thought that was so clever.
Oh yeah, and seeing how the blackmail and the corruption spreads out from this company into the normal sort of power networks. It's done really well.
It's done very clever, and I love you've got, instead of Captain America, it's Homelander.
Yep.
I love how they slightly tweaked all the different superheroes' names.
Yeah, Queen Maeve is Wonder Woman. The Invisible Man was quite interesting.
What was he called now? How he died was good though.
It was funny.
Yeah.
But it's by the same people that wrote Preacher.
All right.
Now, if you enjoy the Preacher Amazon TV series, you will probably enjoy The Boys. Now, Preacher in the comics again was lots of blood and guts and sexual deviancy again, but The Boys just out-tops it.
It's true what Tiberius says about the Spice Girls. That bit. Do you know what Baby Spice is doing right now? Nothing.
Yeah, when you listen to the backstory as to why you know so much about Spice Girls, you know, it's quite a moving part. You know, and I'm not going to spoil it, but oh boy, do the twists and turns start in the last couple of episodes. I'm starting season 7 tonight. You've got a treat coming, mate. You really have. Because it gets darker and twistier. There's nothing wrong with sexual deviance, Bill.
Absolutely nothing wrong with it.
No, do what you want, as long as nobody gets hurt.
Yep.
Yeah, you're good to me. I'll be good to you, mate.
Like we said on Thursday, as long as it doesn't involve children or animals, I'm good to go.
Fair enough.
Well,
That leaves a lot of scope, mate.
It does, doesn't it? End of the day, as long as you're not hurting anybody, you're not. Yeah, go for it.
Unless they really want you to.
You enjoy it.
What show are we talking? We're talking about The Boys, currently available on Amazon Prime, Ebby. Absolutely corking. There is the comic books as well, which is well worth.
See if I can get a link.
Which episode? Grumpy old Vapor, I walked in the bedroom when hubby. Seen the episode with the Fish Girls. Which it right there. And Rachel she walked into the bedroom when hubby watched that episode. It is good. So does that mean, have you seen the dolphin yet?
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. But if you're into your comics, just look up Garth Ennis and Hero Gasm, I think the first run's called. Well worth looking at. Absolutely brilliant. Probably one of the best comic book conversions over to TV that I've seen in a long, long time.
It's awesome because what I like about it is that in back of your brain you're thinking, if this was real, this was how it would be.
Oh yeah, there'd be none of this up and away in Truth and Justice.
No, it was complete and utter. It's almost like superheroes in reality. It's very, very clever. It's really clever how they've wrote it, and the acting's brilliant. Absolutely.
Did you ever see Powers?
No. Austin?
No, not Austin. American TV series Powers, based on the premise of a detective who used to be a superhero and lost his powers. And again, I think this is a comic book adaptation again, but very similar, that sort of gritty, what would happen in real life if somebody could fly. Absolutely brilliant. Again, very dark. I think it ran for 2 or 3 seasons. Well worth catching if you get a chance. It's not as huggy and friendly as the X-Men or anything like that.
Oh, the boys in.
Well, this is what makes me laugh, because the superhero, the Marvel Universe, the DC Universe got slated for being too dark. Yeah. That ain't dark.
No.
That's still the baby blanket, soft, cuddly, fuzzy wuzziness to make people feel safe, I mean, as you said, if you had superpowers in real life, you wouldn't be doing the Truth Justice.
No, I mean, let's face it. If you had a superpower, the first thing you'd be thinking is, what can I do with that? I mean, let's face it. When you was a kid, if you could have been Mr. Invisible, the first thing that you'd think of was, right, I'd be sat in girls' changing rooms.
Bad man.
And I'm sure every 10-year-old would agree with me.
13 maybe, yeah. No, I think 10-year-olds would want to fly.
Well, yeah, I mean, but I'm on about if they had that superpowers. You know where I'm coming from.
I do. Yeah, I mean, it's nice to see more of the independent side of the comics coming to the screen now, rather than just the big Marvel universe, etc.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I love me Marvel, I love me DC as well, but they are, very glossy.
Yeah.
Very, very glossy. The American dream, it's all, yes, empowering and all that lot. Whereas The Boys is sort of like a bit more down to earth, what really would go off.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with the corruption side of it. It's sort of like, that, yeah, this is more sales, how can we promote it, how we can...
Tiberius has just popped a killer in there. He wants a series based on the Darkness comic.
Oh.
I love those comics. The games were superb. The Darkness on PS3, Darkness 2 as well. Absolutely brilliant. But the comics are just mind-blowing. Absolutely brilliant.
See, there's a lot out there. Yeah, it's true that Marvel or Disney light.
True. But they're aiming for the kids. They're aiming for the kid market, the young teens, and the parents to be dragged along.
Another thing I wanted to talk, while we're talking about Marvel and all that lot, CGI. I love CGI, but I'm feeling now that films are relying too much on it.
Yeah.
It's losing that. To me, a lot of films nowadays have started to become very glossy. And whereas special effects were based around the laws of our normal physics, now the world is completely... You might as well watch a cartoon.
Well, if you saw Battle Angel Alita, you did.
I mean, if you saw the last Avengers, you did.
Yeah. And Ghost in the Shell. I mean, a lot of people slated that. I actually thought that was a pretty good thing. Given what they had to work with, you know, you've got a really, really popular anime, Star Trek Destiny. Yeah, I'd agree with that, Grumpy. Destiny did rely too much on CGI.
Well, I think we've gone... And I don't think the CGI... to be honest with you, is that good. And the reason why I think it's not as good is because they're rushing the things out. I mean, you think about it, a film has got a budget, time limit, etc. Also, films nowadays have got a shelf life.
Yeah.
A big shelf life now. I mean, or should I say a short shelf life. So then blockbusters need to be in and out. It's not like on a conveyor belt. And I think we are losing... I mean, going back to when we were kids and the special effects that we had to the special effects that they can do now, they have got the tools now to make some epic special effects. But I think now they're just relying on it completely because they can do most of it in a computer. Whereas special effects when we were younger were actual practical, physical special effects.
But look at Alien. Yeah. Where it bursts out of the John Hurt's chest. Yeah. That was physical special effects. Nobody had warned the crew. Nobody warned the cast.
Oh no, that was true, that.
And that was to get that shocked reaction from all the actors. Can't do that with CGI.
No.
You know?
I mean, don't get me wrong, CGI is absolutely amazing. What they can do now is absolutely amazing. But I do feel that more and more films are just based within CGI.
But at the expense of plot, at the expense of acting quality sometimes. I mean, look at Blade Runner. Yeah? That had some absolutely stunning visuals. Absolutely amazing. But the plot was there and the acting was there. Now, I recently watched Blade Runner 2049. Yeah?
That could have been so much more.
It could have been. But again, they didn't go OTT with the CGI. It was more about the acting and the storyline. And I still enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah, it was a good film. Yeah, totally. But
then you've got something like Battle Angel Alita, yeah, which is literally lifted straight off the anime.
Oh yeah, totally.
I mean, you could virtually go scene for scene comparison. At least with Ghost in the Shell, they slightly tweaked the story, whether you agree with it or not.
Mm.
And I think that's why Akira's never been released in live action. I know there's plans to, and there's been plans for many years.
Mm.
But if you try and do it in live action, there's going to be so much CGI. You might as well watch the original anime.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's great. It's a tool, yeah. But if you're cooking, you wouldn't add too much salt. You wouldn't add too much pepper, would you?
Exactly.
You try and get everything in balance.
Mm.
So how much are these fantastic glossy visuals actually making up for shortcomings in other areas of the film? Yeah.
Me personally, it's like, I love me action films, I love me sci-fi films and things like that, but I just honestly think that they are relying way heavily on CGI.
And I agree completely with what Rachel's just put. A live action Akira would be awful. I can't see it working.
No, I can't.
Because that was one of the first anime films I ever watched. And it was like, what the hell have I just watched?
One I'd like to see, yeah, I mean, I'd like to see that as well. Vampire Hunter D.
Oh, God, yeah.
That would be brilliant. Appleseed.
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to see that done. I think Appleseed would be really good. I've got the whole lot of Appleseed.
See, I didn't know that. You surprised me there. I didn't realise you were an Appleseed fan.
Yeah, I like Appleseed. Yeah, I've got all 3 films.
Oh, I love Appleseed. I mean, Cyber City Oedo 808 was another really good one. That was very gritty, really, really gritty for the time. I think that came across on the manga label, didn't it?
Yeah, it did, yeah.
Yeah. We had some great times with that. The original Guiver.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the original ones were absolutely brilliant. I know they did the cheesy American live action film.
Yeah, but they weren't quite.
I don't know. It had the feel.
Yeah,
it just didn't have the plot.
Yeah, that were a bit. Because I always thought, what film's it now? My brain's gone dead. That were it, Blood. I prefer Blood, the anime.
Oh, God, yeah. 100%. And Hellsing.
Yeah.
Oh, what a series that was.
Yeah.
What a series.
That is. That is.
It had everything in it. Vampires, zombies, ghouls, Nazis.
Oh, were it? Did it? It were... Who did the TV, the film version? Oh, what's his face?
Oh, that's Van Helsing.
That's right, thinking of him.
Oh, Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, that's it.
See, I'd like to see him play Vampire Hunter D.
No, you need someone a bit more suave.
You reckon?
Yeah, you definitely do, yeah.
Keanu?
Yeah, I think Keanu would be too typical, that role. But yeah, Keanu, someone like Keanu.
Mind, he's getting on now. Blade. I do like a bit of Blade, I must admit. I thought the TV series was a bit...
Oh, I never watched it. Kept away from it. But even Blade went downhill. I mean, the last one, what was it called?
Trinity.
Yeah, that were pants. That was just
I
pants. Oh no, it was pants.
I quite like Ryan Reynolds in that.
No, that were pants. That was when he were a knob. Yeah, he I don't know what. I mean, obviously, when he's playing, Deadpool, bloody brilliant. But prior to that, he were a knob. I don't know why he just kept on coming across. And he came across as a knob in blooming X-Men as well.
Oh, here we go.
What?
Grumpy worked with SGI, Silicon Graphics, in the early 90s for some DoD CGI graphic stuff. They did Jurassic Park, Gladiator, etc. Those movies took days to render, and you can do the same on an iPhone now.
Yeah,
I think
but
that's half the problem.
that's quite interesting though. But you look at Jurassic Park, the original,
Mm.
and then you take the latest Jurassic Park, and I think the original looks a lot better.
Yeah.
I think the dinosaurs look a lot better in the original Jurassic Park than they do now. They look more realistic, I think. And that's because not only was they using CGI, they was also using live action as well.
The models, yeah. I think, Walking with Giants, stuff like that, you couldn't do that sort of program without CGI. Yeah, and it's got its place. It really does.
I mean, you look at the Lord of the Rings, comparing it to the Hobbit. The Lord of the Rings looks more realistic than the Hobbit does.
Yeah, I'd rather go with the Lord of the Rings, to be fair.
Because they wasn't just using CGI, they was using live action as well. Whereas on the Hobbits, they was using more CGI.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're going to do it, I think do it in, what do you call it? The film. The blue things. Avatar. Do it in the Avatar style.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, that was total CGI, wasn't it, virtually?
but that worked.
Yeah, but it's the way that they did it, though, isn't it? They based... there was real live actors in that. And obviously they cover it.
And they did the motion capture. And, yeah. And it just worked.
Whereas you're getting a lot of fight scenes now where it's just complete, instead of it sort of like being a real fight, it's just totally CGI. Whereas, so like a lot of the early fight scenes was actual real people fighting, and then they put the CGI over the top of them, and it's basically like wearing a suit. Instead of sort of like a physical suit, they just put it in post-production on the CGI. And you can feel it. Whereas if you have a fight scene and it's pure CGI, you can see the difference. It doesn't feel grounded.
Blade 2 is a prime example of that, where the vampires first come into the garage and they have the fight in front of the ultraviolet lamps. The majority of that sword fight scene is CGI, and you can even see where it breaks.
Yeah.
You know. So, yeah, I must admit, I'll go with that. I mean, I'd rather see more model work. But I'm an old fart, so...
I mean, I'm an old fart, but it's sort of like... It's same with Star Wars. Star Wars is the classic one. The problem with episode 1, 2 and 3, for me, is how clean they look. It's my big problem. Compared to Star Wars 4 and 5 and 6, obviously different recording techniques and all that lot, different that. Even though, I mean, episode 1, how old's that now? 30-year-old? 20-year-old? Something like that?
79, so it's...
No, that's episode 4.
Oh, sorry.
77.
Yeah.
I'm on about episode 1, Phantom Menace and all them lot.
Oh, God.
There must be a 20-odd-year-old now.
19...
But even then, when they came out, there was just everything was nice and clean. It didn't have that. Whereas the new ones that they've brought back in now have got that roughness to them. And it's one of the reasons why I could never get on with episode 1, 2 and 3. Even though, as a die-hard Star Wars fan, I wanted to find out the beginning and obviously how Darth Vader became Darth Vader and all that lot. I was so like, I want to know all this lot. It was just too clean.
But, I mean, there is an argument that the reason it's clean is because this is supposed to be in a time of prosperity and justice and all the rest of it. And then 4, 5 and 6 and 7, 8, 9 are more the Empire's taking over, everything's falling to bits. Yeah. I mean, that's what I liked about Rogue. You know,
Rogue One was brilliant, absolutely
it had
brilliant.
that real gritty feel to it. Yeah. And Solo did as well, to be fair.
Yeah, but I mean, let's face it, Solo was set in the time period of Episode 1.
But it wasn't based around Coruscant and all the rich and powerful, was it? I mean, it was...
Yeah, but Tatooine wasn't exactly unpolished, was it? It was very clean, even in Tatooine.
Compared to 4, 5 and...
Yeah.
You know, yeah, fair enough. I'm seeing some fantastic anime coming up in chat at the minute. So we've got My Neighbor Totoro, which I love. I think that's such a lovely kids film.
Yeah.
My two grew up on that. Project AKO as well.
Ooh, God, I ain't watched that in yonks.
No. What was the other? Dirty Pair. I used to really enjoy watching the Dirty Pair as well. That was awesome. Yeah, I mean, there is so much really good anime out there. You know, and I get it a lot from the people I work with. You know, oh, why are you watching cartoons for kids? You know, oh, the Castlevania anime on Netflix at present. That is really, really worth watching. That is a superb take on it.
Really?
Ooh. Taking over as showrunner for the next 3 Star Wars.
I didn't realise there was going to be another 3 Star Wars.
Well, I thought this was the end of the Skywalker saga coming up. I didn't realise they were planning on extending out.
Interesting.
There's a lot of canon out there, so...
I would have loved to see... I mean, I know I kept on seeing adverts for it, or trailers, the Kenobi story. I would have loved to have seen that.
I don't know if there's enough material in that.
Oh, I do.
Unless you start adding to the story.
Well, it was... The basis was from when he actually landed with Luke, and how his journey became so he could go beyond death. I thought it was quite interesting. Yeah. I liked Kenobi. I was a big Kenobi fan as a kid. I don't know.
No, fair enough. I mean,
I like Kenobi. Obi-Wan, bless him.
See, my daughter is so weird. She's the only person I know that actually cries when Vader dies in Return of the Jedi.
I cried. I rolled my eyes out. I rolled my eyes out in the cinema when he died. I was gutted.
Oh, bless you.
No, I've always had a soft spot for Darth Vader. Always. And that's why I was so mega disappointed in Episode 3. I was so disappointed, not because of the film itself, but they just never went into as much detail as they could have done.
But you never learned anything that you didn't already know.
Yeah.
You know,
I can remember it now. It was 1978 when I first saw Star Wars. I went to see it on my birthday. My dad took me on my birthday. We had to queue for 2 hours to get into the cinema in Doncaster, and everyone was coming out of that wanting to be either Luke Skywalker, Harry, or Han Solo. I wanted to be Darth Vader. I thought he was so cool. I really did, honestly. I thought Darth Vader was so cool. And obviously I did like C-3PO and R2-D2. You couldn't help it, but no, Darth Vader for me.
Ooh. Ben's just sent me a link to an article, which is the Game of Thrones showrunners are making the next Star Wars movie. So D.B. Weiss and David Benioff are working on at least one Star Wars movie, but details thus far have been pretty light. And Disney say they did a deal with Benioff and Weiss, who are famous for Game of Thrones, and the next movie they release will be theirs. We're not saying anything more than that. It's worth noting, however, that next doesn't mean it's coming right away. So Disney is taking a hiatus on Star Wars movies after Episode 9, but according to release schedule, probably won't see it until the end of 2022. Disney is currently working on 2 live-action Star Wars series, one called The Mandalorian, and one focusing on Cassian Andor. That'll be a good one. That's Rogue. And that'll air on the upcoming Disney Plus streaming service. So they could be interesting. I would love to see the Mandalorian one.
Someone just mentioned in chat, I just missed it, about crying on manga films. I think any film that can evoke an emotion as strong as crying just proves how good the story is, what you're watching.
Oh, too right. I mean, if it evokes an emotional response, it's touched the audience, which is what you want.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what genre it is. If it's animation, live action, if it's a science fiction, if it's a drama or anything like that, if it can provoke an emotional response, they've done the job.
Let's be right, we don't go to the cinema just to sit there, act like robots for a couple of hours and then go, yeah, that was good.
I mean, some people do. Some people just go there to be entertain me, and that's it. Whereas I like to immerse myself in a film. I like films that make me think. Hachi. Prime example. Has anyone seen Hachi?
Yeah, the Japanese
With the dog.
king.
Yeah.
What
roared
film?
my eyes out like a baby. Absolute baby. There are tears pouring out, and I just absolutely love that film.
The weird bit is the real life story behind that film is probably twice as emotive as the film.
Oh, I bet.
Because it actually happened. It was a guy in Japan. But what a film. And that's one you can watch with the whole family. But you better have a big box of Kleenex.
And I can go from one extreme straight to the other. When Picard was being turned into a Borg, and that moment where this little tear came down his eye, oh God, I was so upset then.
Oh, bless you.
Yeah, but that's the power of a good story, a good acting. It gives you that emotional response. So I think, yeah.
Oh, too right. I mean, I don't, my good lady will tell you, I don't sit down and watch chick flicks. I do when I'm on the top.
You do. He do.
I do.
He do.
One of my favourite, and I'm going to call this a guilty pleasure, is P.S. I Love You.
Aw, that's a nice little film.
I thought it was awesome. Not a film I would normally watch. But my granddaughter was banging on about this film, and I thought, I'm going to give that a go. Gerard Butler in it. Yeah, I can go with that. And I was entranced for an hour and a half. And there was something about that story that just touched me on so many levels. Absolutely brilliant.
One that gets me, semi-chick flick, I would class it as, About Time.
Yeah.
It's a science fiction film, really, but it's very chick flicky, and that's an emotional one. That's an emotional roller coaster, that, because you're gearing up for him, and then obviously when his father dies and that, like, it's like, so yeah, I like films that get you involved Not just
I'm all
no.
for it.
It's like I love horror films. Really do love horror films, but I don't like slasher. Oh, I'm being scared. I like horror films that make you think.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of the reasons why we're a big Hellraiser fan. Yeah, all right. I mean, if you watch Hellraiser now, it's cheesy as anything. It's very 80s. It's very B movie as it was originally was. But it's the actual story behind it all that makes you think. It seemed like with Saw. I always thought not the 2, 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, 8, 9, and how many go. The original Saw, the ethos behind the original Saw. What would you do to survive, to live? So there's you and your best mate in a room, and you've got to cut open his skull or his guts to get a key out so you don't die. Would you do it? And
Yeah.
that is a sort of like a very powerful, thought-provoking conversation that you can actually have with someone. In them extreme circumstances, could you actually do that? Or would you accept your fate and die? And that's where Saw I'm not on about the continuing stories. I'm on about the original Saw, the first version, and I love that for that thought factor because that made you think. After you'd watched the film, it made you think. Right, am I that kind of person that I saw somebody else? Could I actually do that to somebody else just so I would survive?
I think everybody could.
It's a thought-provoking conversation, though, isn't it? And that's what I love. If a film can, especially a horror film, can make you do that, then I think it's a good horror film.
Oh, I've not seen that one. I might have to have a look at that, Rachel. Apparently, there's a film very similar that was on Netflix called Would You Rather? That's screwed with your head. Yeah, I quite like that one.
I love films that screw with your head.
And there's the comment from Tiberius Jacks. Could you live with it afterwards?
Exactly, yeah.
Now that's the one. See, I love our chat. I really love our chat because they just throw this stuff up. Drew Barrymore growing up. I'm pleased Drew Barrymore grew up as well, chump.
But yeah, I love folk like that. I like films that make you think.
But this is why I am always amazed when people are very fixed. Yeah, I only watch science fiction. I only watch X, Y, or Z. You're missing out.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Serenity, yeah, that was a mix of sci-fi. That was a mix of cowboy, and there was other stuff in there as well. You know, it was quite. There was a much deeper and darker, yeah, based on the philosophy question, the trolley problem. Ooh, you learn something new every day. Today's the school day.
I got fascinated. It came up on, I think it was Facebook, something like that. There was an experiment done, I think it was during the Second World War, or it could have been just after the Second World War in Russia, where they'd kept these blokes awake. Oh, if you ever read that story, that is so like, whoa, freaky as hell. Yeah, they'd locked them. They were prisoner of war, and they'd gone in for this experiment. And the experiment was, you do this experiment, and after once the experiment's done, we'll let you go free. They injected them with something so they wouldn't sleep, and it tells you the story of so many days later, so many further days later. And I thought, blooming heck, that is scary. So like they were eating bits and pieces from the sends and all sorts. So like there was just they were going crazy inside in this because they was in this locked cell type thing. And then after sort of like day 10, it went quiet. There was no screaming or anything like that, and it got worse and worse, and so like they had to go in and have a look. And yeah, they were eating chunks off the cells and all sorts, but they didn't want to this gas that there was being put. They didn't want to go to sleep. They wanted to stay awake. Oh, it was freaky as hell.
Well, that reminds me of the Stanford prison experiment, done in the 70s, and it was a psychology experiment, and volunteers were randomly assigned to either be guards or prisoners, and the sadistic and psychological torture that the prisoners went through was unbelievable. Now, it's turned into a film in 2015, well worth watching. They didn't tell the guards how to be prison guards, they just sort of gave them loose guidelines, and talk about bringing out the worst in a human. It was unbelievable. I mean, according to this, after 35 hours, one prisoner began to act crazy. Yeah, scream, curse, go into a rage. The guards stated they heard a rumour that the released prisoner was going to come back with his friends and free the remaining inmates. So you got the paranoia building with the guards, and it completely destroyed this group of volunteers. Yeah,
scary.
There's been criticism for years afterwards, but absolutely incredible story. Yeah,
the human condition, how evil and beautiful we are.
That's the problem. We are. Oh, we've got what we got here. Gav, love Firefly, the series before Serenity. Yes, so did I. I swear by my pretty pink bonnet, I will destroy you. So Bill Richards' subsequent psychosis was horrific. People ended up with some serious mental repercussions from the Stanford experiment, did they? It was unbelievable. And what sounds so simple? Yeah? One group of prison guards, one group of prisoners.
What could go wrong?
Everything. See, we don't have to have CGI. We are a scary race. We are one hell of a scary group of animals. We can think of things.
Yeah.
I mean, was it Good Omens? Azraphale says, no, that was nothing to do with me. They thought that up on their own.
Yeah, it's about right, that one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Right. Well, shall we look at calling it time?
Yeah, it's about time, yeah.
It's 3:45.
God, it soon flies by, doesn't it?
It does, and thank you, mate. I've had a cracker of an afternoon.
It's been a quarter. A quarter? It's been a quarter. Whatever's
what's a quarter, then?
I ain't got a clue what a quarter is, but I've just made a new word up.
I put my hand out and a quarter.
A quarter.
Who were?
Yes, we was getting a bit dark there, weren't we?
Wow. Yeah, but there we are. Bill's just said it. Humans are pretty effed up. We don't need CGI to be scary. Too right.
Too blooming right. You're not kidding.
I think the scarier you are, the higher up you are in the FDA. My God, that makes Gottlieb the Prince of Darkness.
No, he's soft and fluffy.
I wish. Anyway, so what you got coming up next week, mate?
Coming up next week, I've literally got the Torrent Solo RDA, and I've got the Preco 2 direct-to-lung version coming out next week. I'm going to see if I can get one of them pods in as well. For an extra bonus type thing. I might actually do it while I'm at work and do one of them videos for a little pod system.
Oh, fabulous. The 7-day.
Oh, no, not a full 7 days, no.
Well,
7 days on a pod, come on.
No, I want you to suffer.
You want me to suffer? You want me to suck on a pod for 7 days?
That's what she said.
Yeah.
Bless you.
And by all accounts, these are boom boom sticks, so yeah, 7 days.
Yeah, it'd be interesting, that. But
Well,
you never know. I mean, first runs and second runs, there's still some bugs in them, isn't there? So,
oh, God, yeah. Hopefully I'm not going to vape a bug.
yeah, I don't know.
Doing some sort of creepy caller. But yeah, that's what's coming up next week. As regarding the channel, I think I've basically sorted everything out that I can think of. Could do we updating the t-shirts a little bit? I think we're getting ready for some new t-shirts being put in the shop.
Fabulous.
So I've got some plans for that. The website, how are we doing with the website?
It's going nicely. Yeah. I'll be popping some of the stories that we talked about this afternoon up on the blog. And we are available on SoundCloud, Apple Pod, Google Pod, Spotify, Anchor, Player FM. If you fancy recapturing your afternoon entertainment, hopefully you've been entertained. Can I have a woman's tank top, please?
A tank top?
Woman's tank top?
What's a tank top?
You know, sleeveless job.
Ah. When I think of tank tops, I think of
70s.
Yeah. Yeah. Right, you want
Is that what you're after, Rachel?
you're after like a vest. Is it like them vest ones? Are they classed as tank tops?
No, because the vest is more strappy, whereas the tank top's like solid, isn't it?
I'll have a look and see what I have got. And Bill, yes, enjoy yourself next weekend, won't you, kiddo? And we will see you a fortnight's time.
Indeed,
Rachel,
I hope you have
sort
a
it.
great time, Bill. Sorry, mate.
Yes, have a good time. I won't mind actually going, to be honest with you. It's cool.
What, folk festy?
Yeah. The bit to hold your guns. Okay. Rachel, I will sort it out this week. I'll get them up. Yes, it might be. I know they do vests, ladies' vests, type ones.
See, I've never worked that one out with the ladies' vest because you obviously, dependent on build, would depend on how comfortable you are wearing those.
Are you asking the question or just?
No, I'm not asking.
So, Rachel, what we'd like to know.
Stop it.
Or should
There
I
you
say?
go. She'll take a vest. Thank you. Question answered. Let's leave it at that, yeah? Well, you trying to make me blush or what?
Yeah. Oh, bless you.
You bad man.
Oh yeah, totally bad man.
Yeah. Thank you, Saint. Dear God.
Say what you see. Say what you see. Rachel finds vests more comfortable. There you
They
go.
are. So let's move on quickly.
I'm not going to even answer that one, Bill. Yes, I will sort that out for you gladly.
Sorted.
Awesome. Yeah, I was thinking about some designs with instead of it being your box standard one logos here, having down at the side there. I've seen quite a few Gas Monkeys logos down at the side there, and I thought, oh, that looks kind of cool, that.
I'd quite like to see the new header on as well.
My new head.
The new header off YouTube channel.
Oh, I'm going to say I'm not Wurzel Gummidge, lad.
No, you're definitely more Aunt Sally.
Nice cup of tea and a slice of cake.
Now we are showing our age.
We certainly are showing our age. Right, let's wrap. What was it, number 16? Is it episode 16?
16 draws to a close.
I can't get over it. Episode 16. Thanks, kiddo. I have thoroughly enjoyed this afternoon. Chat, I just want to give you guys a big shout out, say thank you very much. If you haven't hit that thumbs up, please do. It really does help the channel. It really does. You'll be quite surprised what a thumbs up does help the channel. And obviously, lets YouTube notify you that, oh, someone's actually watching us. And then they promote us a little bit more. So yes, please hit that thumbs up. It'd be awesome. It really does count. So yes, Steve, thank you very much, and I'll let you sign out.
Well, like Mark said, massive thank you to everybody that's been in chat this afternoon. I always love our Sundays because they're so chilled. But if you've got any comments or anything that you'd like us to discuss on a Sunday, please go across to the website. Either drop us a line or leave a voice message or just leave it in the group. You know, we would love to have some input from you. Okay?
Grumpy says it's a good show, but not as good as last week's.
Why is that then, Ben? Lack of cornflakes, is it? Bless him. And thanks to Chris for just putting the link up to the SoulOhm crew public group.
Yep.
Bless. So, over to you, young man.
Bye. Thanks ever so much, everyone, and we'll see you all next week. Tatty byes. Bye.
Oh, bless you.
Sorry, we've got the Doctor Who outro.
Ben's just messaged